Hello everyone, it is Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Arc 5 manga review. Scale 16 has just been released in English, and we got the translations. We basically got all of it in one day. We're recording this Monday. You might be seeing this Monday night or Tuesday afternoon whenever I get the editing done for it. But I am joined as always by RarityFanGirl31, who always helps me with these manga scales. She's going to introduce herself in a minute. What you're seeing on screen right now, we asked a question. We're going to ask questions always at the end of these manga scales. It's going to be something new that we're going to do, and you're going to see just a few answers that people left in the comments section. So thank you to everyone who answered the last question in the manga scale review, which was which Arc 5 character would you want to see in the manga. We definitely got a lot of interesting answers. Rarity, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I am back for round 3. Woo! And I think a lot of the answers, some of them I expected, like Serena, there was some Dennis's, Reira, Noboru, but the most surprising answer to me was Mieru. I saw a lot of Mieru. And that's, I think, would be a great character because we don't have any rituals in the manga. We have, of course, Synchro, Xyz, Fusion, and Pendulum. But we don't have a ritual, and I doubt we're gonna, I don't know, Zark probably won't be a ritual monster. I say it's not, but whatever. I think he's an extra deck something or other, whatever. We don't know what Zark is yet, but I think that would be interesting to bring in Mieru, but I just don't know when she would show up is my only question. Like, but same thing you could say about Dennis or Serena, like, when would they show up? I know it's early, but what purpose would they have to infiltrate the plot is, especially with this chapter, we got a lot more plot, and I'm just like, How are we gonna get, like, Shingo and Shun and Sora more duels at this point? I don't even know where it's going from here. I literally have no idea, but Mieru, very, very cool choice. I would like to see her as well, but I'm still rooting for Dennis. I'm still rooting for him.
Well, in Yoshida we trust. He's a very, I think he's a very good writer. Besides female characters, I think he's a good writer. So I think he's going to make this work. I know a lot of people want to see him do maybe the 6th Yu-Gi-Oh show, but he's doing the manga right now. So I don't know how that's. I mean, you can't overwork the guy. You're going to work him into the ground if you put him on the 6th series. But no, Miru was an answer that shocked me a lot, but it does make sense from the ritual perspective. I think the most answer we got was Ruri, and I think a bracelet girl that did not show up at all was Rin. No one said Rin. A few people said Serena.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know, but just no one said Rin.
I would have said Rin if, like, I would have said Rin, but I was like, if I had to say her, I had to say the other 3, plus you already picked Serena as your answer.
Yeah, which was kind of a basic answer, but, you know, any of the bracelet girls I'd be happy with. But anyway, guys, we're going to have another question at the end of this video, so hopefully you guys will leave your comments down below on what you thought of the scale. The scale will be linked down below in the description as well. Let's get into it. I'm just going to give a brief overview as I do, and then we're going to get into specifics. I personally really enjoyed this scale. It was actually one of my favorite scales so far. It starts
way better than last time.
Yes,
better.
Way better than and last scale was good. I enjoyed that one too, but this one just
we both got what we wanted.
It was good. It was really good. We start with a flashback. And it's Reiji doing, research for his dad, and he's been working for 10 hours straight, and some kind of emergency system goes off, and he's about to leave the room to see what's going on, or he hears a noise, I forget what it is, and the door locks. So Reiji is locked in this bunker area, and I knew immediately what was going on. I knew once he was locked in that area and that his dad had put him in that room that this was going to be the end of the world. This is what was going to happen, and we were going to get information on how the world ended through Reiji's eyes. And so his dad comes up on a screen, his dad said, "I purposely put you there, you're a genius, but not even you would be able to sort through these files fast enough or analyze this data fast enough." And Reiji says, like, "What's going on?" Leo's just like, Yugioh used God and and the world is being destroyed. The world is being destroyed. You're in a bunker. You're going to be fine. You have to go to the past and stop Yugioh's son. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what was said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought that was interesting because it gives a purpose and a motive of why Reiji is the way he is. I think that was actually really cool. And one of the most interesting things for me was when they show an out view of the city, and you're seeing it on screen right now, and the meteors are crashing down. You see Yuto, Yuri, and Yugioh, and that caught me by surprise. All 3 of them seemingly in their own bodies, just watching what you see them really just about to watch the city be destroyed, and that kind of caught me off guard. We'll get more into detail there. I'm sure you have a lot you want to say about that. But then we get to the duel, and Yuya and Reiji are going at it, and Reiji uses one of his pendulum effects, makes Yuya scale down to 0, so Yuya can't pendulum summon, and then, I'm sure Rarity loved this part, Yuto comes. Yuto comes, and the U-boys are getting involved, and Yuto's like, "I thought you wanted me to bug off," or something like that, and Yuya's like, "Well, that was before I needed you," which I thought I think the subtle humor is really great in this manga. manga. I really do enjoy that aspect. And Yugioh immediately XZ summons Dark Anthelion Dragon, which is basically Dark Rebellion Dragon on crack. This monster had basically the same effects as Dark Rebellion, where you use an overlay unit, you take half of your opponent's monster's attack, decrease it by half of its attack, and then your monster gains that attack, but you also gain those life points, and your monster can't be destroyed the turn it used the effect. And it had 3,000 attack points. Yeah, I mean, it really is Dark Rebellion on crack. I mean, it's just like a hyped up version of him, so I love that. So he immediately gets to Reiji, but he can't touch him because Reiji, King Zero Maxwell's effect, 0 damage, and that's that. And so Yugioh destroys the monster, but Yugioh's like, damn, you're a lot harder than I thought. So Yugioh pretty much goes away, and Yuya comes back, and Reiji's like, yeah, it sucks for you because you destroyed a pendulum monster, and Yuya's like, ah, damn, that's right. So King Zero Maxwell comes right back. Now Yuya has a little more life points. He's up to 2,600. He uses Dark Anthelion Dragon's effect to get to 4,000 life points, but Reiji is able... He uses block attack to get Dark Anthelion Dragons down, and then he uses a trap card. It lets him attack twice. He destroys Dark Anthelion. He deals Yuya damage. He deals Yuya twice piercing damage.
No, he doesn't destroy it.
He doesn't destroy it, right? Right.
But it's back to 1,200, so literally what Yugioh did was pointless.
Right, exactly. Doesn't destroy it. Excuse me there. Thank you for correcting me, Rarity. But it basically what he did is pointless, as you just heard Rarity say, because Yuya's life points go from 4,000 to 1,200. So Reiji has inflicted 5,600 points of damage on Yuya in 2 or 3 turns, which, I mean, and Reiji has taken no points of damage, which is just, I mean, it just is what Reiji Akaba does. And so Yuya is really just having and I love that aspect, that Yuya is really having a hard time getting through to Reiji, or getting through to Reiji in a mental standpoint, because you see from the beginning of this duel, he's like, no, that's not what happened. Reiji's like, I'm only going to listen to you if you defeat me, and getting through his defense and getting his life points down at all. He's not even touching Reiji's life points. And so Yuya draws 2 cards, and he basically says, oh, this card, that means that, and then Yuri comes. And Yuri comes, and you figure he drew a fusion card. Dowsing Fusion is the card he drew. And Yuri comes, and I'm just like, man, I'm sure, I know why Rarity, because Rarity messaged me, and she's just like, oh, you have to read this manga scale is awesome. And I'm like, I'm guessing I know what's gonna happen. Yuri fusion summons Starving Venomy Dragon, and it's like, oh, here's the 2,500 attack dragon that we've been waiting for. We always wondered why Star Venom had 2,800. Starving Venomy Dragon.
Oh, I know why. I know why, because manga Yuri can't be overpowered.
Exactly, yeah, well, tell that to anime Yuri, he wouldn't like that. So he summons Starving Venomy Dragon. Reiji looks a little concerned by this, and then the scale ends, and it leaves it off. We don't know what this dragon's effect is, if it's similar to Star Venom's. The name is very similar, but really enjoyable scale. I liked it a lot. So Rarity, what are your thoughts on scale 16?
Despite the fact there is no Yugioh, I adored this chapter. And I know I'm biased, I know, but he did get an entire duel to himself, which the other boys haven't gotten the chance to. Mm-hmm. So I know that they were kind of being a little Yugioh biased, but I'm a Yugioh fangirl, so especially because of what happened to him yesterday, which I don't want to talk about because I could rant about how that was done anyway, but the duel itself, I'll get the duel stuff out of the way. Very, very nice. I liked that there was a little banter. I like that we see Yugioh has an upgrade, because we saw the regular Dark Rebellion in the second chapter, so it's nice to see he has an upgrade, so I assume that that all the other boys will have upgrades as well. I'm going to assume that. Also, he used the card of Pendulum Exceed. It was basically the thing of Pendulum Fusion, which is what Yuri used in Scale 9. So I liked that aspect. I love the artwork once again. Very, very nice. I love Yuya's expressions. He just gets the best faces. I'm sorry. He is wonderful. There's this one panel where he looks like he's a ninja, with like he's transforming back from Yugioh. He looks like a freaking ninja. It was funny. I laughed. Also, Reiji, man. Reiji is a freaking boss.
Yeah.
He just doesn't take crap from no one. He just destroys everything, and I was really impressed by him. I was impressed by him normally, but at least, like, in the anime, like, Reiji's, like, taken damage before in duels of Yuya, so... But this Reiji, I guess, has more of a motivation to beat Yuya than the other ones, I suppose.
Well, even in the last duel we saw, Reiji barely beat Reira, and the duel before that, he would have lost to Yuya and Leo, even though Yuya was on his side. So, no, Reiji is a lot more vulnerable in the anime, and maybe it's because we're in the early stages of the manga, but I like that a lot about Reiji in the manga.
Yeah, and I also like that Yuya saw the card, and then it was like Yuri just came in. I liked that. So it's kind of like I was always imagining that the decks just automatically switch whenever, like, the boy switches, but I don't think it's that way, because, like, Yugioh was still in control when he drew the card. So I'm guessing, like, I guess, like, pendulum-related cards, or, like, the spell cards are from Yugioh, but, like, the monsters are from the boys. Like, the trap monsters, or, like, well, yeah, the Speedroids, I guess you could say. Well, actually, Yugioh dueled by himself, so we don't know what he feels like with Yugioh. But anyway, I like that Yuri was like, oh, I've been meaning to have a match with you, man. Because you're probably the strongest character in this entire manga besides us, so I'm excited to fight you. I like that. His facial work was great. I also liked he finally got his own fusion pose. Like, I was waiting for that in Skill 9. He just, like, threw his head up. But now he has, like, the arm clasp and everything. That was cool. He also used Yuyu's dragon to summon his fusion dragon, which I think is interesting, but it's a pendulum monster, so it goes to the extra deck anyway, so it's not exactly a big loss. Also, Reiji was smiling at the end of the chapter, which I thought was interesting. He's like, oh, this is getting good now. I don't care about you, but your two personalities, they are cool. I like them. I'm gonna chill with them instead. Which I think is kind of funny. Now, I was talking with one of our friends, Synchro Banana, or Midnight, and she was saying that Yugioh might come in, because we already have 2 of the dragons, so it makes sense if we had the 3rd. But I was kind of counter-arguing that, like, because Yugioh is sleeping, and I say that in quotations because I don't think he is. And I guess to keep up that lie, he wouldn't show up. Maybe at the end he would, like, to get out, because, like, he's, like, the best way to get him out of there, because the motorcycle, or the D-wheel, so. And now, let's go to the flashback. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was just seeing this destruction. Well, number 1, Reiji without his scarf. That is weird. It's kind of like when you saw Kaiba without his coat in those 2 episodes of Duel Monster. It's the exact same thing. He's like in a giant supercomputer, alone, analyzing data. It's the same thing. He really is Kaiba's son. The Abridged got it right. He's totally Kaiba's son. But in all seriousness, the most interesting thing, I think, out of this flashback, besides the fact that Genesis of Mega Dragon can control time, which I figured something like Genesis is back to the beginning, so it makes sense to go to an earlier time period, but Yugioh, Yuri, and Yuto all standing in that park together. That was very interesting. So, my thing is, well, they're also all wearing the same clothes that they do without the cape. Like, when they're in Yui's mind, they wear their anime clothes, right?
Right.
Which, I want to know why Yuri and Yuto have their clothing, because they look so weird in, like, this city. Like, Yugioh makes sense because he's like he won a tournament. He was a famous, like, turbo duelist, right? It makes sense why he'd wear that, but why would you wear these 2 guys with capes? Like, this is not the fashion sense of the future. Unless they're just trying to be hipsters or something. But I guess we'll learn that with their backstories, I suppose. We're gonna learn that. But now that we know that Yugioh used the card to send Yuya back to the past, and Leo was like, oh, it's so to control Genesis of Mega Dragon's power, and he was like, no, I didn't come back. He's like, I won't listen to you until you win. So I can't wait to see what Yuya's explanation is, because we still don't know why he wants that card. I presume it's to save the world, but we honestly don't know. But as to why the U-Boys are separate, this is what I think happened. I think they learned what Yugioh was gonna do. And I think, as a result of the time travel, of, like, you know, being in contact with Genesis Omega Dragon's power, Yuya's memory got shattered, and the 3 boys went inside him. That's what I think happened. That's what I'm going with at this point, because I don't think there's any other explanation. It could also be something with the Atom Factor as well, because that gives life to Genesis Omega Dragon as well. It's just so confusing. Does Yuya have shattered memories or not? I don't know. But and also, it seems like Yugioh destroyed the world, not Yuya. It was Yugioh. So why do the U-Boys keep wanting to destroy Yuya's memories? My brain just hurts. I literally cannot process this. Well, we need more information.
Yeah, no, and I'll tell you, it is very, I mean, I don't really have many, I just read this about an hour and a half, so my theories usually come to me over time, and I have to really process it. So I don't have I agree with what you said pretty much, just because I don't have anything to counter-argue that, but I'll say I just love a panel like that. It just takes one panel where you put the 3 U-Boys all in their own bodies at the scene of the destroyed city, and it just creates so much more speculation and so much more just predictions and theories and guessing on what actually happened, and I just love that about this manga. You can just make one panel like that, and all of a sudden the floodgates open on what can happen.
Very good pacing.
Yeah.
Very good pacing.
It's been very good so far.
Very, very good. Also, back to the duel, the dragon effects. I thought the upgraded Dark Rebellion was really cool. I liked that it had to do with life points, but even though it's just weird that we saw that his pendulum was the upgrade and not the regular one, but whatever. maybe we'll get an explanation for that. I don't know. Art direction was great as usual. Yuya made great faces. Yuri made great faces. Yuto looked normal. Yuto just looks serious all the time, so I don't exactly have, like, he doesn't have any, like, funny face. Except, like, that one face he made when he was sighing, when he's like, well, that was that then. He's like, very well, okay. I also like that Reiji, because he's been watching Yuya duel, and he knows who these personalities are now. He knows what they are. Except he probably doesn't know who Yugioh is, because, well, he's probably saw Yuya get away with Yugioh. But he probably doesn't know that he uses Synchro, but he probably assume at this point. So that's why I want Yugioh to show up, because I want to see what their interaction would be. Like, Yugioh, this fun-loving character with a serious character like Reiji. I think that would be interesting.
And another thing that was just so humorous is when Yuya makes a statement like, talking about his, right before he makes that really corny magician's joke, and he's like, damn, you're not getting entertained at all, and it just shows Reiji, and he's just got this really, like, they show him with the dark face, and Yuya's got the, you know, sweat mark going down.
He's like, zero interest, huh?
I just love the humor. I really love the humor. Now, what did you think of the two dragons' names, Yuri and Yuto's? I like Yuto's. Anthelion, I just looked it up right now, and Anthelion is a rare optical phenomenon appearing on the parhelic circle opposite to the sun as a faint white halo, not unlike a sundog. So that just went over my head, but it's a word that clearly, it's not like a made-up word, and I don't know, I feel like the definition is kind of cool. So I liked Yuto's name a lot. I thought Yuri's name, the dragon, could have been a little better, because it's kind of very close to Star Venom, but it's acceptable.
Well, I think Venomy is supposed to be a pun on venom and enemy. I think that's that's what someone on Neo Arcado pointed out. And Starving, as we know, Star Venom's English name is Starving, which I despise.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of.
Also Predaplant. Predaplant, yo! Got to wrap it in the house.
No,
but
I will not call it that.
No, the mangas use predator plants, so I appreciate that. Also, but that was before the TCG, so they may change it. Also, another thing I noticed, because I'm dubbing Scale 9, and I was like, which by the way is halfway done audio-wise by the time of this recording, so yay! A good thing on that, but, they use the word summon now instead of summons. They've been using summons for a while, but now it's summon again. I'm like, they're probably like, oh, we've been doing this wrong this entire time. Okay, someone fix that.
I'm pretty sure, because I'm in the middle of reading the Zexal manga, I'm pretty sure in the 5Ds and the Zexal manga, it alternates between summons and summon. I just feel like that's a word that they use every other scale differently. But, you know, it was a good scale. We're going to wrap things up, then we're going to get to the question. Rarity, what would you rate this manga scale on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I wouldn't give it a 10 because Yugioh's not in it. That's totally a joke. That's totally a joke, by the way. I just think that I would have liked to see more of Yuri. Probably, I also didn't like that Yuto just ditched Yuya. I think the kind of thing was like, oh, I didn't want you around, but okay, take my dragon and I'm just gonna leave. But I would have liked if Yuto stayed around. You know, like, just at least be there. I mean, he probably is, because Yuri showed up.
Yeah.
But I would have liked him just to be a little support, not just like, oh, here's my card, you go do this, leave, bye. I would have liked to see a little more teamwork, you know. But they did all use cards. It's not like there wasn't teamwork there. But I guess next chapter we're gonna see Yuri and his new card freaking destroy Reiji. Even though I don't think Reiji. The duel's gonna end next chapter. I can't see this going 4 chapters. I can't see it. This duel's not gonna finish. I'm calling it now. This duel will not get finished.
And that would be exactly what happened when they first dueled in the anime too. It just went unfinished.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
Also, no wasted page time with Shun and Yuzu and Shingo. They learned from last chapter. Thank you.
Well, and for all the reasons you said, and the humor, Reiji being just an absolute boss, but at the same time, Yuya, Yuto, and Yuri working together and dueling pretty well. I mean, they did duel very well. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I think this is my favorite scale so far. I really love this scale. And the manga has just been really good. If you haven't checked it out, you guys really should check it out. But leave your thoughts down below. Again, if you want to read the scale, it is in the description. Rarity, I'm going to let you ask the question. You guys, please feel free to answer the question as well as giving your thoughts on what you thought about the scale. And we hope you enjoyed our review. So we'll give our answers to this question, and then we will wrap things up if you want to go ahead, Rarity.
Alright, so the second question is kind of similar to the last question that we did, kind of like a what-if scenario. This time it is, what duel would you like to see in the manga and why? And I'm going to hand this over to Dylan for his answer. So who would you like to see fight each other? Who would you like to see?
I would like, see now,
Characters have to be in the manga so far. So like no one new up. Yeah, because like something that's possible from what we have so far.
I would like to see Reiji versus Yugioh. Now
yes.
that's kind of iffy because again we don't know if Yugioh is really alive right as of now, right? But I think that would be a duel that would be awesome. It's a duel I really wanted to see in the anime. It's a duel that is not going to happen in the anime. I would be shocked if it happened. I think this is a duel where, especially Reiji, who's a lot more vicious and darker in the manga, especially because now he has a personal vendetta against Yugioh, whereas in the anime he idolizes Yugioh. In the manga, he despises Yugioh. He blames Yugioh for the death of his father. I think the emotion there would be great. And if you have Yugioh half the person, half the entertainment duelist he is in the anime, I think it would be a really, really enjoyable duel.
All right, that is your answer. My answer is, mine's kind of a little more fun. I would love to see Yuto versus Shun. Now, because I think
that's good.
I would love to see those two. I mean, I would love to see that. I want to see something that I haven't seen in the anime. I mean, I would love to see Sawatari duel Yugioh again because I love that duel to death. But I think that Yuto and Shun would be great because in the manga they're kind of like, Yuto is like, I don't want to be friends with Shun. And I think just the two Xyz users going at it, like the main two Xyz users in this manga going at it with each other, I think would be really, like, because we kind of had fusion versus fusion, right, with Sora, so maybe they have a chapter Xyz versus Xyz, you know? And we also already had Synchro versus Synchro with Ren and Yugioh, so it would make perfect sense why we wouldn't have an Xyz user duel. I don't know why Yuto would duel Shun. I mean, I don't know why, but that would be really awesome to see these two characters that are like bros in the anime just going at it for each other. Plus, give Yuto a little more focus. I feel like out of all the U-boys, Yuto, I feel like, gets the least amount of love from the fandom.
Mm-hmm. In the anime, like too, yeah.
Yeah, as well, I think. And I love Yuto. He's my second favorite U-boy.
He might be my favorite, honestly. That's a tough one, but...
I thought Yuri was your favorite.
Yeah, Yuri is my favorite, but Yuri is my favorite, but now that we've seen him... He was my favorite in the anime because I really had a craving for how vicious he was going to be, and that duel between him and Yugioh, so disappointing, and so that kind of left a bit of a sad... Not only the conclusion and the way Yugioh's death was handled, but just the whole duel. So, but that's an anime rant. So, I don't know, but I do like Yuto a lot. I do feel like he deserves more love. That's a great answer. You guys, leave your answers to that question down below. We really hope you enjoyed the review. Let us know what you thought of the scale down below as well. Check out Rarity Fangirl. I'm going to let her do her plug, but definitely check her out. She is a fantastic human being, and she's a fantastic YouTuber, so definitely give her a subscription. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Rarity, if you want to give your plug.
I'm pretty sure most of you have heard this already, but yeah, I'm Rarity. I do a lot of fun Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I dub the Arc 5 manga, which is what we talk about once a month. I dub it. I've been dubbing the Sora versus Yugioh arc, which is scale 7 through 10. I'm currently on scale 9, which, as of this recording, as I said earlier in the review, is halfway done audio-wise. If all goes well and I get my intro this week, which I'm really hoping I do, because the intro was actually made by one of my beloved voice actors, so we gotta thank him for all these technical elements. I should be able to get the whole thing done this week. Hopefully, that'll be a nice little Thanksgiving present to you all, viewers. I also do AMVs, I also do comic dub, just a ton of fun voice acting stuff. I do trying to do little reactions to fan stuff. So I just do a ton of fun stuff. I'm a really fun person, guys. So you should totally go check out myself and look forward to Scale 9 because if you guys have been loving Yuri in the anime, you're gonna love him in the manga, and you're also gonna love myself going insane. Because, yeah, I had to do that.
The voice actor who plays Yuri, and really all the voice actors on that manga dub are incredible. So definitely check out her dub if you haven't. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I will see you later. Have an amazing day.